Retro Rob 64.
What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Game Sessions. We're doing our first episode. This is the first one live. Technically, it's episode 4 or 5. It's 4 or 5, but technically, this is the first one that's live. It's Retro Rob 64 here. You'll have all the links and all this stuff in the description below for all the people that are involved in this little podcast type scenario. But today we're talking about a few things today, including the new launch of the systems, which happened roughly the past 2 weeks. I know we had PS5 this week, but we're also going to be talking about the Series X, and we're going to talk a little bit about PC gaming too. But I want to introduce some of my fellow cohorts here. Say hi, Tyler. Tell me, take it away, bro.
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Hey, man. How's it going, man? Good.
Man.
You want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself real quick?
Yeah. So I, for those of you who have not seen me before, I was a console player. Like pretty much my whole life. I started with like the Sega Dreamcast, and then went up to like N64, PlayStations, Xboxes. So,
You're the
but
Dreamcast?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Chicken-
my
chicken
dad
wing?
actually had it. My dad had it, and yeah,
That's cool.
I think I played like the Spyro game, or no, not Spyro, Sonic.
Oh, I was like
Yeah.
Spyro.
Yeah, but yeah, I just recently made the switch to PC,
Right.
so
Nice.
Yeah, we'll get into that definitely pretty soon. Yeah, and then we got Mario with us here. Mario's technically below me on the stream, but say hi, Mario. Tell him what's up, man.
What's up, man? No, I'm Mario. Let's say online creator and dude. I guess that's what I can call myself. But
No, yeah, dude. That's
I like
that's true.
that. So, what was it? I think my first was Sega Genesis, which was what Sonic, for sure. What else was that Aladdin game? Also Sega.
Yeah,
that?
you talking about the 2D side scrolling
Yeah,
one?
the 2-day Aladdin, the
Oh.
like Lion King game, all those
Yep.
like yeah,
Mhm.
that's where it all started. And then what? I went
The
GameCube,
little
PS2, picked up an
a little
Xbox.
fact on that one too with the Disney
Microsoft.
games. The so they had them on the Super Nintendo as well, but you actually wanted to get it on you want to get on Genesis because it actually was the better version of the game. It was actually the frame rate was actually better, and I think they even had like blood and stuff and effects in like Disney's Aladdin. I think had blood effects.
I want to say
And
Lion King had blood in it too.
yeah, well,
wow.
yeah, like I know you definitely had like you were throwing apples and stuff in the Super Nintendo version, and in like the Genesis you had a sword. So yeah, definitely the better version was on Genesis.
Yeah. Aladdin, you had the sword. You were cutting people up, right?
Yeah. Apparently it was too brutal for Super Nintendo. So cool, man. Yeah, so we had PlayStation 5 drop this week, and then we had Series X, Xbox Series X and Series S drop last week. Did you guys pick these up or did you guys hear about this or what?
About the Series X?
Both consoles, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I my dad also games too.
Mhm.
So, I know I've talked about it in my past videos, but my dad plays Destiny and all that stuff. He's very active with Destiny, but
That's super cool. Like I wish
yeah.
my dad played Destiny with me, man. Like that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's fun, but oh my gosh, is it tough?
Yeah.
Because you'll be playing, and if you're going through like a raid or something like that, or doing PvP, it's really hard to like not get pissed off at like the person that made you. So it's tough, but you know
That's so funny.
yeah,
Like,
but
listen, Dad, you're great and everything, but
I need you to do better in this PvP. Come on, you're
You
slowing us
know,
down.
if you don't
Yeah.
drop that shield next time, I swear to God, I'm moving out.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, I mean, my dad is very active, like with like the new consoles and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
I kind of know a little bit more from like what my dad told me about the PlayStation 5.
Uh-huh.
I tried to do a little bit of research on the Xbox, but um, I mean, I do know that they dropped in all that stuff. So
hmm That's
yeah.
cool, man. Like, it's it's definitely been like a really interesting year for consoles because technically, and we're gonna get into this too. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, they're not dead. So if you have one of
Right.
those consoles, you're still
Mhm.
fine. You're gonna be fine for the next like at least year to 2 years. Everything that's coming out in the next couple of years will still work on those consoles. So and that's a good thing, especially for like families who are like stressing about money, especially this year with everything going on. It's a tough time, so you don't
Mhm.
have to worry about oh man, like these new consoles are out, I got to get a whole new set of stuff, I got to get brand new games and everything. Like that's the really nice thing about what's going on now is you don't have to. It's a nice little upgrade if you want to, but you don't have to. And I think a lot of people are probably not going to buy it right off the bat. They'll probably wait until maybe there's a sale, or maybe it comes out you know maybe like 6 months from now when there's more stock
Mhm.
available, which we'll get into as well.
Well,
But
Microsoft is the only company that they made it very vocal. It seemed like that they were like, "Oh, you can have all the old systems." Because
yeah,
remember we had that conversation before
absolutely.
where they're like all developers have to like make them usable in all the previous systems or something like that. Like they have to be compatible,
Yeah,
like
so
the
you're
Microsoft
talking about
promise or
backwards
something.
compatibility, and that's a huge thing for Microsoft. You're absolutely right. They are super about like,
Because then
hey, we
PlayStation
got to
isn't
make
really
sure
they don't
that
they
we got
don't
to
put
make
that in your face, right? PlayStation.
I mean, there's like, so here's the thing about like Sony. They've kind of already gone on record to saying that we don't really want or care to have the old stuff on the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
you know that you had the PlayStation 1, right? And the PlayStation 2 played everything the PlayStation 1 could. It was like straight one-to-one backwards compatibility. You dropped in the disc, it worked right off the bat. The PlayStation 3, um the first version of that's where it gets a little muddy. The first version of the PlayStation 3, that one was able to play PS1, PS2, and PS3 games. But the hard drive was kind of on the smaller side, and this is when file sizes started getting bigger. So they did some revisions to the PlayStation 3. It still retained PlayStation 1 playback. However, it was more of an emulation. It wasn't actually like it read the disc, it spun the disc, and then it was like reading from the disc to play it. It was actually using a built-in emulator that Sony designed for the PlayStation 3 to be able to run that game. It would just read it,
Mm-hmm.
read the disc, and go, "Oh, it's Final Fantasy 7. Okay, cool. Here's your game." And you would do like a quick download. So now going to the PlayStation 4, they completely got rid of everything PlayStation 3 and back. Like you can't put a PS1, a PS2, or a PS3 disc into any PlayStation 4 and play. So
Right.
PlayStation 4 is
Yeah.
its own thing. So
What
Well,
about like a digital archive though?
yeah,
Do they do
didn't
that?
right.
PlayStation 4 have like the PlayStation Now or something like that to where you could access some of those older games?
They have a couple of things. So they have PlayStation Now, which when that initially came out, it was really rough. Like it was based off of a streaming platform. It wouldn't be like Game Pass. You wouldn't download the game to your hard drive and then play. You would basically stream it from some data center and you would play the game from that playback. So the quality was awful when it first came out. I hear it's better now, but I don't know anyone that's like, "Oh, get PlayStation Now. It's such a great deal." You know what I mean? Like I don't know
Right.
anyone that does that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then they also have this thing which is on PlayStation 4, and that is the PlayStation 2 classics. So they have like the classic games, like the
Oh,
big heavy hitters, the ones you remember on
yeah,
PlayStation 2. They kind of like updated the textures so they're like 1080p at least, and they have
yeah,
trophy support, and they threw them on the PlayStation 4 for like $20. So that's an avenue for a lot of people to go, well, I want to play Beyond Good and Evil again. Well, you can do it through that way.
yeah.
So they have like certain games like that, which I'm telling you, it's like a handful of games. It's like 10 games that they did that with,
Mhm.
you know. And I
Oh,
know the
right.
PlayStation 2 had at least like what 3,000 games, 4,000. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
insane, you know. So it's such a minute percentage of what actually was offered. So, you know, this is Sony's way of going like, you want this game? We'll remake it. You want Final Fantasy X? Don't worry, we'll repackage it as an HD remaster. We'll release it on PlayStation 3. We'll release it on PlayStation 4. We'll release it on PlayStation 5. And we'll release it on a Nintendo Switch and Xbox. Instead of just having that family of systems go, you got the one disc, you're fine. You can throw it into any one of these systems, it'll work, you know?
Mhm.
Right.
Um, and that's the cool thing about Xbox, absolutely, is that you have the Xbox One, and they did a lot of backwards compatibility to get all those games working again and working well. You know, they updated a lot of them to like super high fidelity levels. But you also look at, you know, what they're doing for the future. They want to do literally every game that was ever made on an Xbox console. They want to put that on so that they work. So if you have the disc, you just pop it in and it works.
That would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, which I mean, that's a lot of, you know, resources and development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely did a lot with the Xbox One and what the One X can do. So I feel like they can do it. I just don't know if they really will. You know, I think they will, but it's hard to tell right now. They said that they stopped with the One X, so now they're trying to do with the Series X. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Well,
super cool that they're, you know, very backwards compatible oriented.
mhm. Because I remember even what was it, when the 360 passed over, they were
Hmm.
like, I think it might have been right at the same time or maybe after the one came out,
Hmm.
where it was something on the lines of, if you had, there was some sort of, I can't remember, it was like either data with you, it knew you had the disc because you had a save game or something, or it was in your thing before, that you were able to download all your 360 games as digital downloads because it just knew that you purchased them already. So like when I first
Um,
got the one, I had like, you go to your games thing and it's like, here's all your old 360 games, here's all the current gen stuff.
yeah.
Or like they want you to, you know, keep playing the games you like, you know.
I had a terrible experience with the Xbox One because my dad got the Xbox One like the opening day edition.
Mhm.
He got that one, and then I also got the Xbox One as well. And it
Nice.
was right around that time where there were so many issues with the Xbox One's launch.
Hmm.
So I brought my Xbox home, and I think I was working, or I was like super busy going to school and all that stuff. And I brought the Xbox home, plugged it in, everything was working. I went to go play a game,
Hmm.
and like the game that I was playing, for whatever reason, it wasn't saving onto the hard drive. So I went back and
What?
replayed that game like 3 different times. And
Hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh, dude, I need to take this back to GameStop. And then on top of that, I'm gonna have to re-download this and then play through uh this first storyline for the
Hmm.
fourth time in a row. And so after I got my new Xbox One, I downloaded like a few games on it, and I was like, okay, you know what? Forget this. I'm just gonna get a PlayStation 4.
And you know what? I think a lot of people did that. You know, the Xbox One had a really, really rough launch. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
this was the company that basically, I don't know if it was Phil Spencer, but if I remember correctly, this was the guy that was basically they were like, you know, um, they were doing that weird thing where like if you put in a pre-owned game into your Xbox One, it will not read it.
Yeah, I
Remember that?
remember that.
Mhm.
This
I
was that
remember that.
company. So you gotta think about how detrimental that was for them, right? Like, this thing comes out and they're like, "Here's how we're handling Xbox One. It's gonna be your DirecTV. It's gonna be your Facebook, you know, it's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna be everything but the game console you wanted," right? And then you look at, like, how they handled that and the PR nightmare that that was, and then you look fast forward to now where they're like, "We're so sorry. Here's Game Pass. Enjoy." It's just really interesting to see where they came from because they were the top. The 360 was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say. Like it was crazy because you look at the Xbox 360 and you look at the PlayStation 3, and
Hmm.
it was almost like night and day. I would
Yeah.
probably say about like almost 80% of the people that I knew, that I personally knew, had an Xbox 360. The other 20% of the
Hmm.
people that I knew had a PlayStation 3. And it's
Right.
Mhm.
crazy because like the Xbox 3 made so much money.
Yeah.
Like everybody was playing it. I mean, I remember playing Gears of War on that thing,
Ooh.
Hmm.
and
Well,
and
that's
going
when
through.
the systems used to have games that people
Yeah,
were
Yeah.
loyal to. The
yeah,
Halo
Yeah.
days were the 360 days,
yeah,
and I think that kept a lot of people
Yeah.
like for the
Well, you look
long
at
run.
Epic Games, right? They make Fortnite, right? They actually made Gears of War, and they actually made Unreal Tournament. They're big for Fortnite now, but you look at where they started, and it's like, oh yeah, these guys were making crazy good multiplayer games way before Fortnite. That's where it started. It was on
yeah,
the 360. Well, that's
Hmm.
where it really bloomed. I'm sorry, they started way before that, but they really bloomed on the 360 with Gears of War, and that was like a huge franchise that's still going to this day.
yeah. And it's a shame to like see a franchise like that because I mean, like Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, I felt were really, really good games. I mean, when the first Gears of War game came out, I remember how like insane it was because they were revolutionizing the graphics and like
Oh
the
yeah.
character models and all that stuff. It was nuts, dude. The fact that
Yeah.
you could have a chainsaw on a gun,
Hmm.
like the game developers
And
that
the
that
gore.
did Gears, exactly, and the
Yeah,
gore
the
too.
super gore.
Yeah.
It was like the first like you're like, yo, this is like a scary movie. This is crazy.
Yeah,
Well, like I remember, that was like the first time we saw this technology at the time, which was called bump mapping,
right,
and that was giving like fake textures to things that didn't have a texture. So
right.
like you would look at someone's shoulder and it would be smooth, or it would just be like this painted on thing. Well, now it gave it shadows and realistic looking little pads
Hmm.
to it to give it like, oh, that's like got depth to it. And that was a 360. That was like possible with that
Yeah.
architecture. It started
Yeah,
a little bit on the original Xbox, but you know that was towards the end of the original Xbox life.
right.
And then when they got to the 360, they're like, oh, we can add bloom to everything. Oh, we can add a crazy amount of like bump mapping to these like the tires. Like I remember seeing
Yeah.
like the threads on like Halo for Halo 3. Yeah, even Halo 2 had a little bit, but it was way different. But on Halo 3, like the threads on like the tires, it was like, oh crap, like that has like a really good quality of detail.
Hmm.
So, um ironically, we talk about like the 360 being so successful. It actually didn't outsell the PS3, believe it or not. The PS3 actually outsold it towards the end of its cycle. I know it's crazy to think because
Wow.
you think everyone bought an Xbox 360 because the PS3 kind of did what the Xbox One did this generation, and they came out and they were like $600, go, and then they were like, what?
Yeah,
And then
Hmm.
Xbox goes 399 sold. Like they immediately jumped on the 360 wagon, and
Yeah.
the online integration, the Xbox Live, like it was a hit, right? But ironically, PS3 still ended up outselling it just a little bit towards the end of the generation. But for the majority of the generation, Xbox 360 was the king. It was the leader.
Yeah.
But
until Red Ring came around.
yeah, that
Oh yeah.
honestly,
Those are
if
the
that didn't
crazy
happen, they probably would have
wrapping your
destroyed
Xbox in
Sony.
towels and shit or whatever you got to do. Like all
Yeah.
the different, all the
Yeah.
different
Luckily,
things.
luckily for me, I was lucky enough because I got my first red ring, and then like the nice part was because my dad works in the motion picture industry. Whenever he would go out and work a job, I would go grab his like Xbox 360 and plug it in and play video games for the rest of the day. And then before he got home, I would unplug it and put it back to where it needed to go. But yeah, it was crazy when I had my red ring. um I returned it to Microsoft. 2.5 months later, I finally got it back. And then right when I got it back, probably a week after, my dad's Xbox 360 got the red ring.
Wow.
It was crazy.
The failure rate was like 1 in like 4
Oh
or something
yeah.
like that. It
Well,
was
it was
very
like
high.
inevitable for like
Very high.
every owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I honestly I had a white one, right? I had like one of the launch ones,
Hmm.
never red ringed ever.
Wow.
And I had that thing for like 4 years. So I don't know, I just must have gotten like the chosen one. I
Yeah.
stupidly traded it into GameStop, I think. I forget why I traded it. I traded it in for some. Oh, I was gonna upgrade to the new one because the fan on the 360, that original launch one, was so loud.
Oh
And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
and at the time I used to have it right next to my monitor and stuff because I gamed on the monitor back then, and it was like right next to my monitor, and I'd be sitting there playing, and I'm like, I cannot hear anything, and I'm like right in front of my speakers, like
Yeah.
it's so loud. So, and then I saw the Elite come out, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll check this out. So I traded it in for that guy, and I got the Elite, I think, like $150 off or something. So they gave me a good deal on it, actually. Like they gave me quite a bit. I think they gave me at least half of the value. So I
Back
still got
when.
that Elite. That thing's still around and kicking.
Completely
So
forgot about that because it was like the 360 Elite, right?
Mhm.
And then it was the one.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
had a few revisions. They had that white one, and then they had like the black, matte black one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I then had another one after that. It was the one that had the built-in hard drive. It didn't
Yeah.
have the hard drive that detached from the top anymore, and
Oh
that one
yeah.
was glossy black. That's the one
Mm-hmm.
I had.
I remember I had like
Yeah,
two of those that I would like click in different like,
yeah,
like shit I had like save games and stuff I had on there.
yeah.
Getting that
Super
like
cool.
converter cable too, like to be able to have one externally, which was like
Hmm.
whatever.
But
They
that
got
was the
people to
start of
do
like
that.
external drives too, where like,
Yeah.
oh wow, this 500 gig is literally. I mean, I think most of them had like a 250 gig, and that was like nothing back then,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
crazy to think about. Even back then, like file sizes were still too big. But we're going into the new generation, which I'm bringing back up now, with the PlayStation 5, which comes out with a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I can safely say, since I have mine, by the way, if you're watching this, guys, anyone of the subscribers, there's an unboxing for that coming up very soon. We're talking like less than a week away.
The
Uh,
PlayStation.
yeah, PlayStation 5. I've actually been messing around with it. It's super cool. Like honestly, it's a really impressive system. But just to touch on something really quickly, the 1 terabyte hard drive that's in there, it's not even a full terabyte. I think you have access to about
Oh
665
yeah.
gigs or something
All of them,
because
yeah. All of them are like
y-
that. It's always gonna have
yeah,
just like a trash corner of the storage for operating system or
yeah,
whatever like dormant files and things like that.
right. This thing has like I think it's like 180 gigs just for the operating system.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
you basically install Warzone and you've already lost half your storage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
But they
it's
can
kind of
say it's a
ridiculous.
terabyte.
Yeah. So I'm hoping there is a little slot where you can install like an NVMe SSD drive, which is like the new flavor of the month.
Yeah.
Which are those are really cool. Apparently those things they've been rated for like 180 milliamp hours, which is literally like 170 years.
Yeah.
Like that's how long that hard drive will last.
Hmm.
So I didn't know that. I'm like, dang, that's really good. So we just need to wait for a list from PlayStation or Sony that declassifies all these different like, okay, you can buy this one. This one's compatible with the PlayStation 5's motherboard. Hopefully they give us that list soon because we're all gonna run out of storage real fast. Like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
pretty soon it's gonna look like the MySpace top 8. Like,
Well,
what's your top
it'll
games you
probably be,
install?
yeah, right. Well, that's the whole thing. They want people to start juggling games, and then
Yeah,
probably after a while they're gonna be like, hey, you've been playing your PS5. Here's a storage option,
yeah,
for all you gamers out there, and everybody's like, oh god, and get it, just so
yeah,
they can sell another thing to you or whatever.
yeah. Well, that touches on to actually Xbox. So they have also an SSD installed into their system, the Series X. So in the Series X, you get 1 terabyte, and then with the One S, you get 500 gigabytes. Okay. Now the idea behind the One S is that it's a budget system. It's designed to be basically your streaming platform. I think it still comes with a disk drive. I believe it does. Yeah. So it's like your Blu-ray player. It it'll cap out at like 1440p, which is like 2K. You hear like the talk about 4K a lot. It'll cap out at 2K, which is still really good. I mean, honestly, if you have a 1080p monitor and you hooked up a 1S to it, you're solid. You're not going to get the full 4K anyway, even if you were to put like a Series X on it. So for a lot of people that are still rocking like 1080p, that's a great option for a console. Plus,
Yeah.
you will get to experience the new games that are coming out in the next 3-4 years. You'll have it won't be the best looking quality, but it's still good. It's still really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, the cool thing about them is that they have these little slots on the back of them. I think the Series S does too. I know the 1X or the Series X has it. And these little drives, these little like they're proprietary hard drive hardware. It's a little slide. It looks like a memory card, and it's 1 terabyte each. And it just slides right into the back of the Series X, and boom, you have now 2 terabytes.
Oh, okay.
And I think there's 2 slots, so you can go up to I think like 3 terabytes essentially. So that's really cool. The
So
only
sick.
problem is those things each $223.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's almost the price of a Series S.
Yeah.
So again, it's proprietary, so you kind of are forced to buy that, which is like a little crummy, but I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. I think if I get a Series X and I want that thing, I'm gonna be like, I'm waiting until that goes on sale.
So
Yeah.
you're saying they kicked the whole, because I have the 1S right now,
Mhm.
and it's just bunch of USB ports. You can just
Mhm.
hook up whatever storage units you want to do. Pretty much every storage unit, like flash drives, external hard drives, whatever, you could just pop in and use as game storage, save games, whatever you
Mhm.
got to do.
Um,
But you're
you
saying
can
the
do that
new
on the
ones,
1S, yeah.
yeah.
Are,
Well, I'm
are you
saying
asking about like
I'm
the
saying
Series X
the
and the Series
Series
S? Are you
X.
asking about those?
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, what it's doing is it still obviously has the USB ports, and I think they're like 3.1 or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's like super fast transfer. Um, I know for the PlayStation 5 specifically, that SSD that's in there is so specific to Sony's hardware that
Yeah.
whatever is like a brand new PS5 game, like
Oh
for
yeah.
example, I just got Miles Morales.
Mhm.
They want me to install that on the SSD that's built into the PlayStation 5. I can't
Yeah.
install that on like an external hard drive because I have a 4 terabyte hard drive for my
Yeah.
PS4. I can straight up unplug that and plug it into my PS5. No problem.
Yeah.
The only thing is I can only store PS4 games on it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. It's
That's
not bad for
yeah.
now because if you think about it, 4 terabytes, right? I didn't even fill that thing up when I had the PS4. So
Yeah.
it's not bad for that reason. I don't have to clog up my 1 terabyte hard drive, my measly 600 gigabytes on my PS5 with PS4 games. I could just throw them straight up on my PS5's external hard drive, which is nice, right? That gives me free storage options. Same thing goes because you asked about the Xbox. The Series X, I believe, same kind of concept. I don't think they'll force you to install like a 1X game or an Xbox One game onto like external hard drive. You can install it onto your main hard drive, and you'll see like a performance boost. Um, so, for example, like a game like Gears of War 4 or 5. Let's go with that game, right? You can install that onto the SSD of the Xbox Series X, and you'll actually see performance boost. That thing will actually get like
Oh, nice.
I think 120 frames per second or something at 4K, which
Yeah.
is that's their bump, that's their boost mode. The PlayStation 5 offers this as well. Like there's a bunch of games that's already kind of like been that's been confirmed for like, if you get Borderlands 3, for example, you get 4K 60 now on the PS5. And same with same with the Series X as well. So
Mhm.
the thing that's a little confusing right now is that, okay, so I get 4K 60, but if I'm like a general user and I don't know anything, and I just think, oh, it plays better on my PlayStation 5 or my Xbox Series X, and let's say you install it onto an external hard drive, you're still not getting the optimal performance because it's not on the SSD.
Right.
That's so
So
weird.
yeah, in that way, I almost feel like I'm kind of glad that PlayStation 5, like when Ratchet and Clank comes out, that's a game that's optimized for that SSD. It's designed to
Yeah.
load super fast. So
Mhm.
that gameplay experience has to be, that way on the PlayStation 5 because of that SSD. So in a way, I'm glad that it doesn't install it onto my external hard drive, and then I load the game up and ready to go, and I'm like, these load times are bad. Like, what's going
Right.
on? I didn't get what I got, So it kind of alleviates that problem of,
Yeah.
okay, we want people installing it on hardware that is designed for it to work on, you
Mhm.
know? So it's a little gray area. It's a little like
Yeah. It just
murky,
sucks they don't
but
give you options. Well, I would think the trade-off would be probably as a see into the future, they're probably going to be like, you can't do this, but you can't use the storage thing. We know it sucks right now. You're going to get our SSD. It's going to be great, and probably because you're getting theirs, you'll have access to boosting.
yeah,
And then hopefully they're able to like roll out firmware updates for the storage that is compatible with your thing. If that's the
yeah,
case, it's definitely worth getting.
no,
Because if you have
absolutely,
just like a generic storage unit that has like, so much write speed, download speed, whatever, like transfer speeds, I would
hmm
hope that if I'm getting something that's compatible with Sony that they are forcing me to get, that they can at least improve that at the same rate that they're, like updating consoles or
yeah,
whatever. But I don't know
oh
if that
yeah,
it seems like not too much to ask, but
you'd be
it's what you
surprised.
yeah. Unless they're just gonna keep rolling out new hard drives that I have to keep buying, like to update instead of like, updating them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I think back to PS4 and I think back to Xbox One. I bought those hard drives, those like external ones that are
Little
like branded
clip-ins.
with like PlayStation and
Yeah.
and Xbox stuff. They're just Seagate hard drives. They're just computer hard drives in like
Yeah.
an enclosure that basically makes it so you can just plug it right back into your console and it's good to go. It's
Mhm.
plug and play. So I think we're just waiting for that to happen. Honestly, like if we just get the list for NVMEs, like those hard drives, like the basically the new SSDs that every computer part place sells them. Once we get the list, and I can just kind of go, okay, cool. So I can get for now, if I just need extra space, I can get like a 500 gig for like $100 or something. They're not too expensive and they last a long time. I'm just waiting for that list. Once that list happens, I can go grab one and I'll be fine because once the reason why we have to wait for that list is because we got to make sure that it's compatible with that motherboard that they put into the PlayStation 5, and
Mhm.
we have to make sure that they have to make sure that okay, if we install Ratchet and Clank on it, does it still run the way it's supposed to? That's what they're waiting on. That's what we're waiting on. Is you know it's one thing if it just fits. It needs to actually operate at the same frequencies, at the same wavelengths that the motherboard is designed to operate at. You know.
Right.
Because that's the crappy part is like the PlayStation 5's hard drive, the SSD, it's actually soldered into the motherboard.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. So people are kind of already wondering like, well, if this thing craps out on me, this hard drive that's in here, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Like
there's nothing
I
you
have
can
to get a
do.
whole like what do you
Yeah.
do? Like
Well, it's
do you
the
go take it
whole
into Sony?
MacBook thing. Yeah, you just have to like
Yeah,
go
it's
to
a MacBook thing,
the
exactly.
Sony Genius and be like, "Hey, help me." They're like, "I don't know," and then here we'll send you a new one in 2 months or whatever the hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So um but yeah,
Hopefully it
as far as
doesn't.
like the
Yeah.
launch is concerned, these are the big problems that they're facing, and on top of like everything with COVID and stuff, it's like add the extra layers of
Yeah.
confusion. But
Well, that's the
um,
weird the gray area that trips me out about both of them. I mean, in my opinion, whatever, I think everybody can generally like agree, like you'd be like, yeah, yeah. It seems like they're trying so hard to be PCs, but
yeah,
then they're trying. It's so obvious that they're selling you like weird version of a tower,
A watered down
a
version.
super watered down uh pre-built, like a
Yeah.
pre-built PC system.
yeah.
That I mean, if
Well,
you're a PC guy, you're looking at it like, dude, I've had all this gear for like the past 5 years. Like this
Yeah.
is all old news. But then it's like,
so you bring up a
yeah.
lot of good points. One thing is that this is not new. Technically,
None
we've
of it's
always
new.
had consoles
Yeah.
trailing behind PCs.
I think it's for
Yeah.
people that just figured out that PC gaming is a thing. And
Yeah.
then that
Yeah.
both of the companies are kind of being like, do people actually play PC? Like, do they all have gaming PCs now? So that you can like actually, I wonder how gamery they think all the consumers actually are.
Well,
Well,
and that
yeah.
that kind of like is perfect, Mario, because like the thing for me is like one of the reasons why I've always bought a console, like, when the PlayStation 2 launched and like when the Xbox 360 launched and so on and so forth. One of the main reasons why I always bought the consoles was because I felt that for the price and with what they gave us,
Yeah.
it was worth it.
Oh yeah.
But now it's kind of like, okay, here here's the patty for the burger,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you get the buns, but then like if you want a full burger, you got to have the lettuce, the tomato, the
Yeah.
onions, a little bit of sauce, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my
But
god.
But they're like,
like that-
you don't want to make a burger, dude. Just buy
exactly.
ours. It's gonna be great.
Exactly.
Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
gonna be delicious, dude. You're gonna love it, dude. Don't even look
Yeah.
up what other burgers look like. Just stop.
Yeah.
Oh
Exactly.
wait, that's the way of
Yeah,
going.
don't go
Oh,
to
you want
cooking
our
school.
secret sauce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
You're gonna
Yeah.
love it.
I hate sauce. Well, too bad. You're
Because
gonna
I
like it.
wonder, dude. Because I wonder when are they gonna drop a ported Steam app on
Yeah.
on Sony?
Well,
Or
you know what?
yeah.
It's called a Nintendo Switch.
I don't okay, so here's the thing. I don't foresee Sony or Microsoft, Xbox and PlayStation. I don't foresee them ever coming out with a Steam like app because they're rolling in the freaking dough, dude, for the
Yeah.
amount of money that they're charging for freaking games. I found out, and Rob, I don't know if you know, like if this is true or not. So please let me know. But I found out a couple days ago that they were saying that with the new gen console games, it's going up $10.
$70
So
bucks.
Yeah.
$70 for a game,
That's crazy.
dude.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
Yep.
That's
That is
crazy.
so crazy. On Steam, normally like how I get my games and stuff like that. I just bought a game called 7 Days to Die on the PC. It was on the PlayStation 4, but there were like a lot of issues with like Telltale and Fun Pimps and all that stuff. I got that game on sale for $6.
That's
Yeah.
sick. It is
Yeah.
weird, dude. It is weird. What was it? All the platform, like that whole, when Battlefront 2, the whole microtransactions, the Star Wars Battlefront thing.
Oh
Everybody's
god.
like, forget this. And then what? Essentially all the gaming community boycotted playing Battlefront.
Yeah.
And I was like, I agree. I
And
don't
look
want
what they were
and I
forced
want
to
to play
do.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they pulled it, and then what happened? No one was playing it, and then literally like probably within the same quarter of it releasing, it was on sale on Microsoft for like $11.
Yeah.
Like with DLC
Yep.
and stuff. The
You
$60
guys
game.
you guys
And it's
play the
like, what is it
sequel?
worth?
Like Battlefront 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Like
what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you meant Battlefront
Yeah.
1. Okay.
Well, I
No,
was
no,
saying
no.
Battlefront 2 was the one where they were like microtransactions. If you want to buy
Yeah.
Darth
With
Vader,
loot
go
boxes.
for it.
Loot boxes
Pay
and
to
stuff.
win, dude. Like that whole thing.
Yeah.
Um,
The sad thing is, like, I mean, it's actually a good game. Like
Yeah.
that's the sad part. It's a really like
Yeah.
well polished game, but they just destroyed it with all these microtransactions.
Right. And
Yeah,
I,
but,
I,
yeah.
I do think that part of actually a good majority of that falls on EA. DICE made a beautiful game.
They did.
Like it typical DICE game, dude. I mean, it was gorgeous. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But because EA holds the rights to the Star Wars franchise, to Lucas Gaming, because EA holds the rights to those, they're like, okay, we're gonna pull DICE, and DICE, if you want the money for this, you're going down with us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
You
a
know?
shame. I just want to mention really quickly the last time that games hiked up in price, so they went up to $60.
Yeah.
Guess what year that was?
Probably like 2004 or something like that.
2005.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, I kind of understand the like games have become so expensive to make and everything, and it's like a cost basis
Yeah.
thing. but I just wish they would have waited a little bit because, like, this is the wrong year to increase
Yeah.
prices on
Yeah.
anything.
Well, it seems strange.
Yeah.
It's like they're almost like
Exactly.
calling out the user. They're like, "How bad do you want
Yeah,
it?" You know,
Yeah.
which is
yeah,
trippy. But then at the same time too, like that's kind of what I was saying with the Battlefront thing. I was like, how are they getting? Because I mean, that's a different thing. They probably made so much money on microtransactions before that they
oh
were
yeah,
able to get rid of it for $12 because we were
Yeah.
like,
oh yeah,
we already shelled out. But like, where is the what am I getting for this $70? Like that
Right.
seems so out there. You know, because
Exactly.
then
And
PC
even
gamer, you get so much graphic, like you have such a
yeah.
high ceiling, and then you're kind of
Yeah.
like getting a $70 game that has a cap,
yeah.
on the console. It performs as well as it performs. There's no expanding. There's no. It's just I don't know. It's just trippy.
Well, and it's also one of those things where like, okay, you look in the past, and I know that Rob and we did that video on Mass Effect. You know, in the past, possibly, maybe in the past, you could say that games were worth the $70 because of the amount of content that was released with the game.
Oh yeah.
Now it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, if you want a good game, you have to pay for this and this and this, and on top of that, it's $70.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like, you know, I'll bring back like the hamburger reference. It's one of those things where like back then, you know, even 10 years ago, it was like, okay, you got a full, fat burger. You got a fat burger, right? And now it's like, okay, now you get a McDonald's cheeseburger, and then if you want like the other stuff, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It just
Well,
doesn't
yeah.
add up.
It's making it like a
It,
theme park or
exactly.
like a baseball stadium or something. You're in the door. Yeah, you're gonna pay $13 for a beer.
Yeah.
You want to be here,
Oh,
man.
that's so true. Yeah, that's
Like
that's
whatever.
like 100% true. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you got the
it's
console. What are you gonna do? You
it's
can't
that
buy other games
experience.
to put on here. You got to buy ours.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, in the history of like all console launches, you always have that attach rate. Like
Yeah.
when the Nintendo Switch comes out, what are you buying? When the Xbox Series X comes out, what are you buying? When
Right.
the PlayStation 5 comes out, what do you buy with it? And it's that like it's like peanut butter and jelly. Like you just put those two together. Like you don't just buy the
Yeah.
console and go, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Series X is maybe the exception because I know a lot of people that are buying it. Personally, I, I I'm not. I mean, if I can get one, sure. Like I run a
Yeah.
YouTube channel, I kind of need to be able to, talk about it and use it in like discussions. But honestly, like I don't really have a pull for it right now.
Yeah.
Right.
There's just nothing out right now for me to really want to go grab. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, maybe. I don't know. That game seems to be doing really well. A lot of people seem to be liking it. But I mean, I can get that on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
it's not gonna be the prettiest, sure,
Yeah.
but it has like a free upgrade option. I can get it later, which kind of brings me back to that point of if you have a PS4, if you have an Xbox One, you're still fine. The company didn't forget about you. Okay. You can still buy plenty of games for the next year or two that can still be supported there. You won't get the optimized version, but you
Yeah.
still can have an option to it. And um, like I know there was actually still some deals coming out where I think we could have picked up Valhalla for like $30. It was like a week ago.
Well,
And
they
I almost
did
jumped on it.
the. Oh yeah. Cause
And
now
I
it's
was like,
like
"Ooh,
they're doing what do you call it? Like HBO Max Encore subscription like that. Like they're doing like Ubisoft just came out. You got the Ubisoft
yep,
subscription. Valhalla's free. Want to play all the
yeah."
Assassin's Creed? It's all included. Let's go.
We'll
Like that whole
we'll talk
thing.
about that on
Yeah.
another one, but I know exactly where you're going with it. That's a whole
Well,
separate
yeah.
discussion I
Well,
wanna
it's
get
kind
Yeah.
of
into.
like it's like
Oh, man.
yeah, but yeah, it's like well, yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's like it's a $7
Mhm.
game, or do you want to purchase our loyalty system and then get it for a little knocked down? It's Costco,
Yeah.
so you have a Sam's Club card.
I
You
like
pay,
our references. You guys are on
Yeah, I
well,
point
know.
tonight.
that's literally what it is. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you love
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed? How much do you love Assassin's Creed? Keep
Mhm.
paying us monthly to make Assassin's Creed, and we'll give it to you for $30 or whatever. Like, or you can pay monthly to get your games you like, and we'll keep trying to put them out, frequently enough that you have something to play.
Well, and that that's the whole reason why I made the switch to PC.
Yeah,
Because the thing is like, okay, if I really wanted to, you know, like let's say that you know, like for Assassin's Creed, okay, with the software that I'm running in my PC, I can run Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Ultra,
Oh yeah.
and I can surpass what it runs on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, you're saying like performance
I can
wise?
exactly. I can run
Yeah, like
144
frames.
hertz if I
Oh yeah.
wanted to.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Are you talking about PC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the next thing I want to like bring up really quick. Um, before we go back into like the consoles, you guys are like mainly PC gamers now, right?
Yeah.
I know Mario, you have an Xbox and like you like that thing a lot.
Well,
And I
here's
know
the thing though with me specifically. I'm PC dude. I built my whole thing. Love it. I've owned an Xbox and I've only got Xbox. PlayStation 2 I had. Then the Xbox, like Xbox, like the big black thing with the
yeah.
green X, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Ever since that, I've only had Xbox games. Currently, I have Game Pass Ultimate. I don't even use my system. I have it for my PC. I have it
Yeah,
for my
I mean
PC
like
because
you
then
could
all the
just load up
titles
on
that
your
release
PC.
and whatever, I'm able to play them so immersively, whatever, because the graphic, how the performance, it's so much better of an experience. I don't need the console. I have my own console. I just need the membership to just get the games when they come out, you know, and then I got them.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, that's some you bring up a really interesting
Yeah.
point because you know, there was talks about at Microsoft going maybe they don't release a console.
Yeah.
Maybe their next console is Game Pass.
Yeah. I don't
You
care. I
know?
have a better console. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of the thing, you know, like
Yeah.
A
Xbox
lot
is
of
cool, but mine's
people were
sicker.
speculating that they were just going to do straight up, you know, I think they're done with the console, especially how bad the Xbox One just failed at the
Yeah. Well,
beginning
that's what I
there.
thought I was going to bring
Right.
up earlier. I
Yeah.
think Sony, Microsoft, or Xbox, PlayStation is going to become Hulu, Netflix. And you're going to have like, you know, they're going to go, what does everybody play? PC or whatever? But then it's going to be, yeah, you like having like a membership, kind of like a giant overhead membership where they get rights to games and then they release you know, titles
Yeah.
on only this, you know, whatever. Or it
Well,
could
this was
be.
the point that I was going to bring up earlier, and that's the fact that like the reason why we have consoles, the reason why is because um, AMD released their new architecture, their RDNA2 architecture for their new CPUs,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was waiting for it because everybody was kind of like, this is what's going to go into the new console.
Oh,
Did
dude, I
you
watched the
100%.
press release. It was sick.
did you guys hear what happened with
But
AMD? So
recently,
yeah, it was probably like maybe 6 to 8 months ago. What happened was AMD had been like consecutively working with Sony and Microsoft. So their processors would be in the new gen consoles. And so while they were working with like Sony and Microsoft on like, you know, the release and like being able to mass produce these and all that stuff, Intel was kind of like, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of like update our like i5s, i7s, and then we're going to come out with like an i9. And they're
of course.
like, you know, AMD is not going to really be able to do anything because they're so busy working with you know, the new consoles. So what happened is when Sony and Microsoft announced that AMD had been working with them, AMD sneak peeked like a teaser trailer of their new processors.
Mhm.
Literally, Intel got freaked out and they took their general prices of their processors and it dropped like 40%.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Wow.
And so like AMD's like, you know, like they're kind of in the back and they're smiling and all that stuff. And then like, you know, a month to like 2.5 months later, they're like, oh yeah, this isn't going to be coming out for a while. So, you know, jokes
Mm.
on you, Intel. And then
Yeah.
their 5K series that's coming out or just came out or something like
Oh
that.
right.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
It blows Intel out of the water.
Yeah.
AMD is
Yeah.
now
You talking about
buying
the
processors.
Ryzen series?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was. Oh my gosh, I had a whole conversation with my girlfriend. I was like, "Yo, they skipped the 4000 series. They were like,
Yeah.
this is so sick that we need to. It's not even. This is way better than what we would have done for our
It's
4000
so
series.
true.
And I
This is the
think it's got
5K
like
series. It's sick,
They got scared.
dude, and
They just
they're
were
just
like, "Go
killing
for
it.
it."
They're killing it. They give you so much for your
yeah.
dollar. It's so good.
Oh yeah. I think it's got like 24 or 36 cores.
Yeah, it's insane. It's
Oh my
insane.
god,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Yeah, it's
next
probably
build is
yeah,
gonna be definitely Ryzen. I don't know if I'll go for the 5 if it like the 5000 series, but
yeah,
I'm definitely building a Ryzen. I still in this computer that I'm streaming on right now. I have a AMD FX 80. Oh man, it's a 8700 or something. It's an 8 core processor, but it's old now.
Yeah.
But it's the best I can get for the motherboard that I have now. My computer's older.
hmm
It's just my motherboard that's holding me back now. But I'm still running almost anything I throw at it with high settings to
yeah,
almost like max. So
so
Well,
legit.
it's working. That's AMD. They
yeah.
just know what the heck
Yeah,
they're doing. You know.
Yeah. And that kind of leads me into what like I kind of want to mention, like as far as like PC gaming and whatnot.
Hmm.
But the cool part is like, okay, when did the PlayStation 4 come out? It came out in like
2013.
2013. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Okay.
it's crazy.
So 7 years later, in 2020, we get a new gen console, right? And like for me, I bought my PlayStation 4, all the games and all the accessories for my PlayStation 4. If I would have taken that money, that money that I spent on
Dude,
my PlayStation 4 and I put that towards a PC back then, I guarantee it, the PC that I would have made would have been able to outperform the PlayStation 4.
It
oh
wouldn't
Guaranteed.
yeah,
have.
oh yeah,
No, would have.
Oh, it would
It
have.
would
Yeah.
have.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Oh
And
yeah.
so like even now, like I definitely cuz like over the summer I was doing like swimming lessons and all that stuff. So I could save the money to build this,
Hmm.
but I would probably say that with my PC that I have, I'll be able to outperform a PlayStation 5, no questions asked.
Hmm.
oh yeah.
What about a Series X?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In
I
speed.
have yeah,
Mhm.
like that kind of thing. It's not even like you can't like I have like 5 years on Series X.
Mhm.
You know, they're not. I'll be able to have like the upper hand for a while,
Oh
kind of
yeah.
Are you
thing.
running like 32 gigabytes of RAM or something?
I run
Me?
64.
He's
Yeah, I
running
run
64
Yeah,
gigabytes of RAM. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I run
I
64.
run 64 at 3200 megahertz. I'm at 4.2 gigahertz right now. I'm on the on my CPU. I got the Ryzen the 9 Ryzen. Yeah,
The Series 9?
3900X.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's still really good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was the except for the Threadripper,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm running
Yeah.
a 24 thread 12 core.
Dude, you're making fun of my tab game, dude. You could run like
Oh,
circles around my tab game.
dude, I could tab over the 4 monitors, all tabs, whatever, dude.
Oh my gosh. I actually I opened up like a bunch of tabs on my computer the other day. I was like, I want to see how much I can do. And I probably had like 50, 60 tabs open, and then I heard my video card like spool up. I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
So this is a picture. This is a picture of my PC. Mario, look at the monitor.
Oh, nice.
I need to get some LEDs myself.
It's looking good, dude.
I don't. It's not focusing, but I did turn my focus off.
This is like Yu-Gi-Oh cards all over again.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But I mean, the thing is like Mario said, the thing like I have I probably have about maybe like Mario said, like 5 or 6 years
Hmm.
over the Xbox, and the PlayStation 4. And then when I want to, I don't have to change anything else in my computer. except for maybe that 5K series processor that I might
Boom.
get.
You change out one
And
part.
exactly, and maybe the graphics card because I have a
Yeah.
2080S RTX in. So, if I
Mhm.
decide to go with the 300 series,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my monitors are perfect. My keyboard and mouse, I'm not changing.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, and you can always hook up a controller if you want to. So,
exactly.
which
That's
is
why.
nice.
Yeah. That's why Xbox. They're all Bluetooth. So I'm able to just
Mhm.
take my controllers out of here, put it in my PC, play it like an Xbox if I wanted to, just Bluetooth it to it, that kind of thing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I will say something in defense of consoles because I feel like someone has to. I have a PC. I love my PC. Don't get me wrong. I game on it a lot. I prefer to play Destiny 2 on that rather than a console. It just runs way better.
Oh yeah.
But I will say you cannot put a price on the fact that when you just push the button and it turns on and it just works. Not to quote Todd Howard or anything, because he said the same thing about Fallout 76, but whatever. It just works
Works.
16 times the detail.
Sure.
Oh god. Anyway, but it's true. I can go right now. I can hit this little button right here. Turn on my PlayStation 5. It'll boot up in 2 seconds, and I'm in a game within like 3. And that convenience and this brings me to my point of what I want to talk about, which is the PlayStation 5 real quick. I can be in a game, I'm not kidding, within 10 seconds of turning my PlayStation 5 on. My TV will still be booting up. My TV is the bottleneck now.
Is that a race?
Yeah, let's go.
Is that a
dude.
race?
Dude, you
I got
wanna
my
see-
Is that a race?
thing,
I'm
man.
running 4-gen PCLE right now, dude.
Oh.
We will do
I-
this.
I-
We'll do
I
this.
hear a
my
race.
We'll do one.
PC turns on at a gasp. It's like, let's go. We're playing. You want to do
Hey, we'll do
Adobe?
it.
You want to Photoshop?
We'll do it,
What's
man.
going on? I'm like, yeah.
But look, I still like my PC, man. This is going in my
that's the
PC
thing.
very soon.
Oh,
That's the thing.
beautiful.
Oh, nice.
I have now. This is my second one. This is now my second one that's going in there.
Yeah.
Technically third. I have a 500. I already have a terabyte, and now I got another terabyte coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
These are actually on sale. Anyone that's watching, these are on sale right now. Newegg and Amazon, $100 flat.
Oh, nice.
$100. Yep, marked down from like 170 or something. So that's usually when I buy them for like Black Friday. But I'm telling you, like that convenience is huge for a lot of people. The main consumer will look at that and go, I just want something I plug in. It's got 2 plugs. It's got a power club and it's got a power HDMI plug, and that's it.
Right.
I plug it straight in, and then I hit one button and it turns on, and I'm in a game or I'm watching a video or I'm doing whatever within seconds. And that's true in this generation now because we're dealing with SSDs.
Right.
Like I'm not kidding. Like with this guy, this controller itself is super cool. I'm gonna get into that in a second, but it actually comes with a free game, the PlayStation 5. It comes with oh man, Astrobot or Astro Boy, whatever it is. It's basically a tech demo for this. It's so you can kind of figure out how this thing works, but it's more than that. It's actually a solid game. It's mind blowing because they actually utilize the SSD. Like you don't have any load screens in that game. I literally turn the game on. I'm in the game within seconds. I push go, and I'm already in like the lobby. I'm already ready to go. I go from one world to another. There's like 2 seconds of like, it's like a loading effect, and then you're in. And I was like, holy crap. Like I ended up playing the game a lot longer than I thought I would have. And I think it's because there's no load screens.
Yeah.
I think I was literally going through it going like, oh, this is actually like
Yeah.
enjoyable. I can seamlessly play
You're
this
just, like,
game
playing
without
a
anything
movie.
stopping me.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. Because I do kind of come from that background of like game design and stuff like that. I know that there's no load screens now, but with the background of consoles and just kind of like the I don't even know if you would call it physics, but
Architecture?
yeah, the architecture of the console itself. I I can almost guarantee it that once when we start getting those high res, like high quality games, I can almost guarantee that there will be load times, because even now, like when I boot up to play like Destiny, or even like Baldur's Gate, or um what was another, Rogue Company. I started playing Rogue Company on my PC. Even with those high res games on the PC that I have now, there's still load timers. I mean, it's not like ridiculous, but there is still a little bit of
Yeah.
like a little bit of a load time. But in comparison to what the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox, One are, I guarantee it, there's already a huge difference with the new gen consoles.
Oh yeah, PS4 and
Yeah.
Xbox One definitely.
Yeah.
You got to think about two things though. One is that when you have a developer that works exclusively with a console company, so for example, we'll use Insomniac. You know, they generally make only their stuff. That's not true because they made an Xbox One game. We'll use Santa Monica Studios, okay? Or Blue Point. They make games exclusively for the PlayStation line of consoles, okay? So Santa Monica is obviously working on God of War. Uh, I expect that game to have zero load times, but because they're a proprietary
Ragnarok, right?
company, yeah, Ragnarok. When they're, I almost kind of want to boot up because it's included, and I have the game too. It's included with like the PlayStation Plus thing, which is like it's a really good deal. You already get it if you're a PlayStation Plus member, which is like Xbox Live but for
Yeah.
PlayStation. You get a ton of great games from the PlayStation 4 library. They just give it to you for free. Like it's a super cool thing. God of War is on there. I kind of want to boot it up just because of the convenience. It's right there.
Yeah.
All I have to do is download it. I'm curious to see if the load times on that is improved because the load times on PS4 weren't bad, but it was also part of the environment. Like whenever you have to like press a button and like squeeze through like a little crack in the wall, that's a very clever developer tactic to hide a load screen.
Right.
Mhm.
So you don't really see the loading happening because you're not at a loading screen. You're just loading
Yeah.
literally while
Yeah.
watching cinematic of like an animation of, oh, I'm just trying to get through this crack, and as I take my time, the assets load in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and another thing too is like, I'm a huge advocate for Ark. Ark Survival Evolved. Um, when I played it on my PlayStation 4, like, because this is what I mean. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about as far as architecture for the game is concerned, and even with memory and the processing power and your graphics, it
That
all
game is not
connects.
designed with the PlayStation 4 in mind.
No, no,
Mhm.
absolutely not. You go to open up like a container or a vault, and you're waiting 20 minutes just for it to load. Like
Yeah, it's
it's
bad.
but the thing is like, in comparison from the PlayStation 4 to my PC, there is a very, 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 very minute brief second to where it loads, but it's not even in comparison to my PlayStation 4. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. Like, as the years progress, yeah, they're pushing the whole 4K and 60 frames per
Yeah.
second and all that stuff, but within a couple years, at that point, it's not really going to matter.
I
Yeah.
think the consoles are doing a little bit of catch up, here
Right.
especially because 4K 60, everybody's kind of like, well, yeah, you should be 4K 60 by now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the thing, and I totally agree. And like I said, for the casual people out there, for the people that just want a console that works, this is huge. Like getting a console like this, and like I said, when they load up the PlayStation 5 for the first time and they play that Astrobot game, which is totally free, and it's actually honestly, it's like if Mario was on like Super Mario was on a PlayStation console. That's the level of quality and polish
So.
they put into this game that's just for free. Like I'm actually blown away by how good this game is. It's mind blowing, and it's a tech demo. Like you actually get to see like the haptic feedback on these guys. It's really cool. Like right now they're totally loose, but in certain points you actually feel tension like here, like, and
Mhm.
it'll actually click down. You have to click down hard on it. Like it's hard to describe, but the tactile feedback that's in this controller, like this thing is like $70, 80, 70 or $80. I get why. There's so much technology built into this thing. It's insane.
Right.
There's a microphone right here. There's a little
Yeah.
microphone right there
Oh, that's cool.
that you can talk into and everything. Yeah, like
Is it bulky? Is it bulky like the Xbox controllers are? 'Cause it
you
looks
remember
bulky.
you remember the PS4 controller,
Yeah.
right?
It looks
It's a
like
little
the
bulkier than that.
current Xbox
It's
controller.
nice here, like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like this part right here,
Ergonomic.
you see on yours, it's kind of fatter on the end. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like fatter right down there. For this one, it's skinnier, so it feels more like you can get a good grip on it. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's really nice. The battery life, I played like I don't even know how many hours on this thing yesterday. It barely ticked down. So it has like the 3 little bars for battery life. It only ticked down 1.
Oh, thank
I-
God.
I didn't even need to charge this last night after playing.
Those don't
That's
have
already-
like external batteries, right? It's just like a internal like battery like recharge
Yeah.
like phone kind of thing.
Yeah, USB-C right there. You just plug it in and you're good.
Oh,
Then it charges.
Nice.
Yeah. So look, after playing and not having to charge this thing, that's already huge.
Right.
I'm already happy just for that fact. So
Yeah. I mean,
If-
one of the things that I definitely miss like about console gaming is the fact that I could just like kick back and like recline my chair back and just like look at my TV and all that stuff.
that's
With
what I did
PC
yesterday. It was
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Well,
And that's what I'm
with-
saying. That convenience, what if you had something comparable to your PC, but not exactly super comparable
Yeah.
because your PC will always be better because PC hardware is just so much easier to get out than like, oh, hey, go get a new video card for your PlayStation 5. What? What's a video card? They don't want
my-
people doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
My graphics card is probably as big as the PlayStation 5.
No, the PlayStation
yeah.
5 is big, man.
Well,
PlayStation
yeah,
5
they're
is
trying to
huge,
be
bro.
PCs, right? Yeah, they're
Huh?
huge. How? Yeah, because it's like vertical standing, right? Like a tower.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the living room. I don't want to unplug
Yeah.
it, but it's I can't
Yeah.
even do it on the stream. If I back up, maybe it's
Wow.
it's about that tall, dude. It's tall.
Dang.
It is
It's
trippy.
not wide. It's skinny, but it's tall, and it's whisper quiet.
Yeah. Because I
Like,
wonder.
I
That's the thing.
Don't even hear it
yeah.
booting up.
I wonder
or anything.
what Sony or Microsoft, what their idea of their hardcore gamers versus their casual gamers, like what the rap sheet is for who they think that is. Because I mean, in my opinion, I love Sony. I use all Sony cameras. I'm a
Mhm.
Sony cameras. Oh my god, my favorite. Whatever.
They're really nice.
But then, if you compare the console to the camera game, Canon makes a lot of their money selling these cameras at Walmart and Target and things that have one good spec, but you can buy it for way cheaper compared to the professional models for literally one feature that makes you think you're doing something professional. But everything else
Right.
on it is trash. Like, what would you use these camera settings for? What the hell? Like, well, this is insane.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. So
Well,
then,
and
in my
that's
opinion, the consoles
exactly
are the same. It's like making people think that they're a hardcore gamer, that they're like they got all this stuff. But but
Oh, that's
the
interesting. Yeah.
reality of it is the hardcore. I'm ruined. I have an aiming preference. I need a certain mouse with like 11 buttons on it. I'm too used to DPI speeds and using my elbow and stuff. I hate aiming with sticks now. Like whatever.
Oh yeah.
Because-
If you
yeah.
told me what DPI stuff was before, like it was branded to me, I would have
Yeah.
been like, I don't know. Is that the laser on the bottom of the mouse? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole marketing thing. Absolutely. It's like you want super fast. Like, do I know what DPI I need? Like, oh yeah, I need about like 1700 DPI, or I just I can't use that mouse. Like, no, like I didn't know, but like I got the
Yeah.
mouse. Like I got this guy. This is like my 5th mouse or something in like 2 years. It's fine. Don't have a cat. Cat spills stuff on your tables.
Mhm.
It's fine. But yeah, like this is a great mouse. I like it. Yeah, it's wired. Yeah, it's the way to go.
I love wired stuff. I
Yeah.
won't go any wireless stuff anymore.
But look at this thing. Look at this thing. Like, so in here, right? You think this is nothing? There's a compartment for weights. right? So
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh, I
yeah.
need to have like a specific weight. Like I wouldn't know this stuff before, but if it's marketed to me, like, well, the hardcore gamers, they use weights,
Well,
like I
yeah,
have
you
a
can
weight in
nerd
there,
out on it, dude. That's
you
the
know?
thing is you can't, everything with the current consoles. It's like, okay, you're gonna break your warranty. Like, what's up? You gonna
Yeah.
unsolder this thing? No, just play it.
But I guess that's the whole, scheme of it is like, well, we got esports, they need the
Yeah.
best top of the line mouse and mouse pads. And like, the refresh rates have to be like in the 300 hertz or
Yeah.
something, like
Right.
they have prototype monitors and stuff, like their eyes aren't even keeping up with the refresh rates. They're going cross-eyed over here, like
Mhm.
you want to get that monitor, right? Like,
Well,
like,
and
Yeah.
even especially now, like in esports, like almost every single game that is on the market now is PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
like 85 to 90% of the gamers, they'll say that they play on PlayStation 4, like when they're streaming or whatnot. The moment that they go to a tournament, oh, they're on a computer.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that's the thing.
I
It's
mean,
like
I,
you
I
don't want
was
to
I
piss off
was
the console
watching I
players.
was watching the Fortnite finals like a year ago or something like
Yeah,
that.
I was losing
And
it.
literally almost every single the only difference between the gamers was the fact that some of them were using a keyboard and mouse and the others were using a controller.
Hmm.
Wow.
Everybody else was using a top of the line PC and a top of the line monitor.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's no question. That's the best
Yeah. Well,
hardware
you
and
got to
stuff.
have
But
zero inconsistencies, and you couldn't
Mhm.
do that if you were sitting there with a PlayStation compared to everybody on. You know, you don't even you don't even have the option to turn shadows off on your
Right.
console. So
Yep,
you're
it's
automatically at a
true.
disadvantage because
It's
everybody
true.
sees you in broad daylight and you're sitting there in the dark because you got shadows that you can't disable on your PlayStation.
Dude, I
You
didn't
know,
see him. My RTX didn't render the shadows.
yeah,
I
yeah,
couldn't find him.
exactly. And then the PC's dude's like, you don't got
My
RTX,
draw
dude.
distance
Shut up.
didn't see. I didn't see him. He was like,
Yeah,
500 meters away from me,
yeah,
sniping me. I didn't. The draw
yeah.
distance didn't
Because
help
you don't
me.
you don't have view distance like render distance options and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
no.
Yeah,
We got field of view. That's it.
yeah.
But either way, you guys with your PCs, you'll never get to play a game like this, though.
See, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, some of
Is
Tyler's
that
them are.
quiet.
is
Tyler's
that
quiet.
is that PlayStation 4 exclusive?
So this is actually PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I got the PS5 version just because I want to make sure I got the right one. That's another thing. I don't understand why they're making multiple versions of shit, but whatever. This is the ultimate one, so it actually comes with the remastered PS4 game.
Oh,
So yeah, I have this one was $70, but I got two games. I got the first game and I got this semi sequel as well in here.
is it kind of like a
So
DLC? Kind of like a.
from what I've been reading, it's not really DLC. It is its own story. We're still getting
But I mean,
Spider-Man 2.
like baby
Like
story.
we're getting the sequel to that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like a side story. It is technically picking up after Spider-Man on PS4. It's picking up after that game, but it's not to be treated like, oh, this is Spider-Man 2. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be treated as this is this like the continuation of the story,
Yeah.
something to like play before we give you Spider-Man 2, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of thinking of that, like how the old like GTA 4, like how like the chapters that they would drop, like Lost in
Oh
the
yeah.
Band and
It's longer than
Gay Tony and all
that,
that.
definitely,
Yeah.
because that was DLC and it was priced as DLC. This is like
Yeah.
this is a full price game. Like it's
Oh yeah.
the reason why people are kind of like they feel like it's almost like DLC is because it's New York again. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Like, what did you expect him to be? Like in
Yeah.
Africa or
Was he gonna
something? Like
be?
in
Yeah. He's
Egypt,
gonna be
just
in
swinging
Gotham
around on
City
some
or
dune?
something? No. Yeah.
Like, I just didn't like. Like maybe they wanted a different aspect to it. I mean, it's optimized for PS5, so you get to see like really cool ray tracing effects, and you get to see like snow and stuff falling all over. So, um, it's definitely got like that urban theme too, because like especially with the soundtrack and everything, it's super cool. Like to me, it seems like a newish game in its own way, but
Hmm.
again, I wanted more of the first Spider-Man game. What would be so wrong with me wanting more of that? If it
Yeah.
is more of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, final verdict. Are you guys buying a PS5 or a Series X?
I'll let
And if
I'll
not,
let
why?
I'll let Mario go first.
Okay. So currently, no, I don't care about
Okay.
either. They're weak.
Okay.
So, and I would not buy unless they literally marked down. I wouldn't get a PlayStation. I don't. I mean, whatever. I don't care enough about like the storyline, and a lot of PlayStation releases are so cinematic
Yeah.
that I loved Injustice 1, for example.
Oh, the
Loved
fighting
it.
game?
Literally great. I mean, I button mashed it. It was crazy. Like I got really good at a character, whatever. But you're
Those are
playing a
fun.
movie that you play the fight scenes for. And for the set for in that aspect, it was like, yo, I'm playing a sick superhero movie and I could do all the fights. Injustice 2 came out. I just watched the cinematics on the internet. I didn't need to play the game. Like
Yeah.
what more am I getting from it? So
That's
everything that's a
true.
PlayStation release, God of War, like the Spider-Man stuff, I can look up on the internet and watch it like a movie because I don't need to. I don't need to play it because I don't want to
Yeah.
play it on controller. I'd rather have like a way more engaged experience, like with mouse and keyboard, that I personally get a lot out of. That
Uh-huh.
for me, it feels more involved because you're doing more rather than sitting there on the joysticks or whatever.
Right.
But that being said, if because then I would only get an Xbox. I have Game Pass Ultimate. Everything that I would play is on everything that they take seriously that's released on Game Pass is on PC also. So I'm going to play it on PC because it's going to be
Yeah.
way more enjoyable. It's going to look better, it's going to play better, it's going to run smoother, it's going to feel better for like how you're aiming or whatever the game is.
Yeah.
Unless the Xbox was super obtainable and it was like boom, just like whatever, throw the cash, get it, to what literally watch YouTube on it and maybe play one platform that come one title that comes out that I'm like, oh hell yeah, something crazy like they brought another Halo back that was actually good or something or whatever the hell, you
They're
know
supposed to. That
yeah
was the big thing this year that
yeah
it was supposed to come out, and
yeah
a lot of people were like, "Okay, Series X, here we go,
yeah.
and then they delayed it,
But it's like
and
I'm not gonna buy the system for Halo if I have it already and Halo comes out. Hell yeah, I'm getting Halo. You know?
yeah,
That's a very, very expensive game if you just get the console for that.
and
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
how many people buy that though? How many people do
But
that?
yeah, but that's the
Think
thing.
about it.
That's not
Yeah,
me though. That's not me. Some people do
yeah,
that. They're like,
right.
hell yeah, dude, I've been playing Halo since freaking Xbox, multiplayer, Halo 3, whatever the hell. But if I were to shell any money, whatever I would spend on anything, a console, Xbox, whatever, I would feel bad not spending it on a PC option
Wow. Okay.
because I would get so much more out of it. Like I would much rather get like an RTX, like a 3080 Super,
That's what I
and
was gonna
any
say.
day.
You probably want to get a good video card.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would just
Yeah.
enjoy every second of it. But
Nice.
I'd have to justify the console, in my
Right.
opinion.
All right,
But
Tyler.
that's me.
What about you?
So I'm I'm not gonna say never. Like I'm not gonna say that I would never get the new gen consoles because I I told myself that I would never get a liquid coolant system, and I got a liquid coolant system in my PC now.
Hell yeah.
So the thing is
You
like,
gotta overclock that thing, man.
oh
But dude,
dude,
compared to getting liquid cooling 10 years ago, 5 years ago,
oh yeah,
compared to how cheap it is now and how obtainable it is and how
yeah,
many options you have, you know what I mean?
Don't worry. The PS7 will be liquid cooled.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
and
Yeah, yeah.
and the coverage too. Like when I bought my liquid coolant system, um like NZXT told me that like if it breaks, they'll buy a whole brand new computer for me. But anyway, that's off topic. Um I would probably say that I would never get a new gen console. Like I would never personally invest my money into a new gen console. However, if 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 someone got it for me as a gift or something like that, or like I won it in a raffle or something like that.
Is that a hint?
Yeah.
Are you trying to hint something, Tyler?
No, 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 no. I'm
He's
not
looking
trying to
look
hint.
at his Christmas list.
Yeah, no, no, no. I'm no, no, no. Of course not.
Uh,
The thing is with my PC, I am having so much fun being able to go back and relive games that I played on the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 2. So the thing is like kind of like what Mario said. I would feel bad if I spent my money on something like a new gen console, or like parts for a new gen console, when I could take that money and invest it in like a new graphics card or the new processor. If I get a 300 series like graphics card or the 5K series processors from AMD, this thing is lasting probably 10 years, and I will
Yeah.
not have to update it at all,
hmm.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So the thing is like I also, to a certain extent, I I I know that there are like those like games that are exclusive to like PlayStation 4, or I'm sorry, PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series 1 X, right? Is that what it's called?
Series X. Yeah.
Series
The
X, yeah.
Xbox Series X? Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
So like I know that there are games that are exclusive to that, but like I said, that's an expensive game. So if how much was the Miles Morales game?
This one it was 70.
70? Okay.
Yeah.
So if I wanted a new gen console, if I wanted the PlayStation 5 and I wanted Miles Morales, I'd have
Yeah.
to pay like $470 just for one game. That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a
If you got
lot.
the digital version of the console, yeah,
Okay.
not
Yeah.
including tax.
Right.
Yeah.
So like that to me is just like super expensive. I mean, the thing is
But that's a
uh
lure for someone though.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
Someone's
that's
like,
that's
"Hell yeah,
true.
dude, Spider-Man just came out. I got to get a PlayStation. Let's go." And
Right.
and that's draw for them.
Right. Yeah,
And
and that's fine.
the next one that I'm gonna get personally is Demon Souls. Like that
Oh,
just
okay.
looks really too good to like pass up on. But
Right.
um,
I don't know if you wanted to finish your thought. I just wanted to add something too, but just something that's because you know how you always say like, oh, you're gonna get the new system or whatever, and it's always like, oh, once they make it cheaper, I'll get it, that kind of thing. But I've said that or whatever because I don't feel the pressure to get it. I don't feel left out. I feel like I have more on my PC or whatever. But
Right.
there's
Mhm.
something also that um, whenever that window where you would be like, you go, oh, I'll get it when they make it cheaper. Whenever that window is that you feel safe to get it, you have the pressure of feeling bad for not being, because now there's something that's the 4K. Like when I got the One S Xbox, I felt they wanted me to feel bad for not having a 4K TV and having like the One X, I think was what the most recent before the Series X. Whatever. So it's
Right.
like you're like, yeah, you can wait for it to get cheaper, but you're still missing out.
Right.
Because by that time that hits, you're like, oh, if I had a 4K TV, if I had the new one that had like like was able to be more compatible, I think it was like higher refresh rate monitors or something like that or whatever. You also, because what they'll kind of do, it seems like, is choke out the current gen system to make you feel bad about not having the newest one.
Right.
Because it has a little bit more of a ceiling. Like how you were saying you were playing like Rogue Company or whatever, like you were playing on the other one, how you're seeing the load times. It's a little bit less clean than you remember it than when it originally was. Because now with the PS5s and stuff, you're playing PS4 games. They haven't
Yeah.
even dropped it's not, because they haven't maxed the potential of it yet. Like they haven't even put the SSD compatibility in it yet or any of that stuff.
Right.
So you're not playing anything that's stressing the system yet. to make you feel bad about not having the newest one that probably has that one situation that you're kind of frustrated about fixed, that you
Right.
got to now shell out more money in order to obtain.
Yeah.
So it's like
Well-
it's like loyalty or whatever.
One of the last things that I want to say, and then we can call it a night, or if there's other points that we want to discuss. One of the last things that I want to say, and if we want to leave it at this would be a perfect like conclusion. In my honest opinion, I think what trumps over everything, what trumps over having the highest and newest shit in your computer, or getting the new gen consoles, or whatever, getting the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5, the one thing that trumps over anything, do you guys know what that is?
I do.
Yeah, Mario,
What? I don't
do you know
know.
what that is?
Tell me.
Rob, do you want to go ahead and say it?
I think it's, if whatever experience you're playing on, if you're having fun, just play it.
Yeah, I mean, fun definitely leads into this, but the one thing that trumps over it all is, what are your homies doing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you got
True.
friends, if you got friends that just got a PlayStation 5 and they're all playing and all that stuff, that right there,
Yeah. Who are you
that's
squatting up with at night? After you get off work or whatever.
exactly.
Oh, that's always been the constant. You're right. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
This is because then that's the thing too. How far is crossplay gonna go to where it's still beneficial for the systems to do that?
right.
well, there's been so many games. I know we're getting off topic for a second, but there's been so many games where I was like, man, if this was crossplay or cross progression, I would gladly pay, tons of money into this game just to be able to go, hey,
Yeah.
oh, you're playing Apex on Xbox? Well, sick. Let me go ahead and I'll download it on Xbox. I'll transfer all my stuff over, and I can play with you. Now we
Yeah.
have crossplay.
Yeah.
It's in there now as of like I think like a month. I think it's been there now a month. But before that, like, oh, well, you're on Xbox? Okay, cool. I guess
I have a
um
PlayStation. I'll never talk
you
to you
don't
ever
want my
again.
extra money then to pay for extra skins because I want to go
Yeah.
play over there now. Sick. Okay. You want me to
Yeah.
buy all new stuff all over again on a whole different console and start all my progress all over again
Yeah.
just to play on a different console? Like
Yeah.
Right.
that's so not pro consumer.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for me, I don't game with too many friends, unfortunately. I mean, I want to change that, but I have tons of experiences on this little guy, my little Switch right here. And yeah, it's this is $200.
Well,
Right.
yeah. But I mean,
I've had so many great experiences on this little guy just right here. I have my other Switch over there too, but
Nintendo's able to do
not next gen.
timeless releases. They can
Yeah.
keep making Zeldas, but then you're always gonna be back like, oh, Wind Waker, fucking Ocarina of Time, dude. Like they
Oh, yeah.
all still
Oh, yeah.
stand.
Nintendo
like that whole
literally
thing.
will look at all of these new consoles out and go, all right,
They write better
all right,
stories.
well, they're not scared. They're not scared at all. They're
No.
like, oh, okay, well, here's a Mario game, and then boom,
Everybody's like,
it'll sell like
"Oh
20
my
million
God."
copies.
Oh yeah, they're like Jabba the Hutt, dude, on that sand barge. He's just chilling, choking out Princess Leia. You know what I'm saying?
And we'll probably talk about this in another episode, but I want to go over like Nintendo and their success story that is the Switch. But yeah, I really want to go talk about that with you guys and see what you think, because I know Mario, you've got a Switch Lite,
Yeah,
and
this is
we're
cool.
gonna convince Tyler to get one because he needs to get on that bandwagon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No,
He
Switch
will.
Lite is
I guarantee
awesome.
you, he will. Watch after
All-
we're done talking with him, he will.
I
Yeah.
I was actually considering getting a Nintendo
See?
Switch.
See, we're already
But
there. We're already there, Mario.
The thing was,
Boom.
is like at the time, that was $200 that I could put towards my 2080 graphics card.
It's true.
So,
We'll don't worry, we'll convince you. You'll be fine.
if I had the money, I would go out and get a Nintendo Switch right now.
I actually just sold mine, my other one to upgrade to this new one.
Mhm.
If I had known you were looking for one, I would have I would have gladly given you a good deal on it.
I just got a thing in chat. How do y'all
$199.
feel about them not making?
$199.
Oh, nice.
$199.99.
No, I give it to you $199. I'll take the 99 cents off. You're a homie.
Here, real
Copy
quick,
that,
real
homie
quick from the
hookup.
chat. How do y'all feel about them not making ports of popular games and doing what they want through all these years? Nintendo never follows a crowd and always does what they want, even at the cost of easy money.
We're gonna talk about that next time.
Yes. Yeah. That is
That's
a
too loaded of a
whole
question.
different conversation.
We have any questions on Twitch or anything?
No, that's what, because you brought up Nintendo.
Oh, okay. That was one of them.
Yeah, I just got
Oh,
that right
snap.
now.
Okay, we'll answer that real quick. So, Nintendo is a very traditional Japanese company. Okay, not to go into it too depth, but they're a very traditional company that's they look at their games as very intellectual properties. Okay, they've released 2 games this year. I'll show you really quickly. This is one that came out this year for the Nintendo Switch.
And it's crazy.
3
I mean, it makes sense how hard it's going, but it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's just the same. You know, you can just keep making the same game or remaster
That-
it or whatever.
People have been begging Nintendo to put these games. Okay, this was Nintendo 64. This was on the GameCube, which was not a very good selling system. However, now it's super
Wait,
expensive.
which is that? Which Mario is that?
This is Super Mario 64.
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
Sunshine, and this is Galaxy. So we got Nintendo 64 game, we got a
Got
GameCube game, and we got a Wii game.
Is that the one that he has the hydro pump on and you have
Yeah.
to go like
Sunshine?
clean up the
Yeah.
Flood, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
that
that's
game
better.
was fun. That game
It
was
was
a
like
lot of
open
fun.
world Mario.
Yeah. So this was released this year. Okay, they dropped all 3 games. They're not even like they're a little bit touched up. Like Mario 64 is still like a 4:3 aspect ratio.
Oh, who cares, dude? That was such a fun game on the Nintendo 64.
Right. But these are literally like 3 ROMs that they just threw. This one's a little bit different. They actually redid Super Mario Galaxy. It's super cool. Like if they just released this game by itself as a remaster on the Switch,
Mm-hmm.
that alone would have sold like crazy because they actually remade it for the Switch because it has like the motion controls. So they actually put some work into that game. But the rest of these, this is a $60 game and it has all 3. This is not an angry rant. This is just showing you what the facts are that Nintendo does. They released this for the purchase this year. It will only be available until March 31st, 2021.
Oh.
After that, you
Wow.
cannot buy this anymore. Not physically, not
What?
digitally.
That
Oh my
is
god.
epic. No fucking way.
That is
So after that-
insane,
That is
dude.
crazy.
after
So
that-
what? They're gonna be selling like Pokemon like booster boxes
Yeah.
and shit afterwards? Dropping 40K on a
Dude,
Mario
that
3D
game
case?
alone, after you can't get it at
So-
all, it
so
is
when you guys are looking for it, years from now,
that's gonna easily be worth like
your boy
5K.
Retro Rob will
Oh,
sell
they
you a
patched
copy.
it.
Damn.
This is what Nintendo does to its fan base.
Yeah,
This
that's
is a
all
little
it
bit
is,
of
a
an angry rant.
promotional deal, dude.
This is what they do. They cause people to buy out a game because they won't have enough. Now I'm going to be forced to sell these later on for a decent little amount of profit because they won't just simply go, "Hey, these are great games. Thank you for the support through, 30 years.
Yeah.
Enjoy." They make us do this instead. They make us buy these games and make profit off of it because
is
they decide to do something
Yeah.
different.
Fucking
Yeah.
nuts, dude. That is insane.
I mean, that's totally whatever. Everything they do is like I mean,
But here's the thing. They're
That's
great
crazy.
games.
yeah.
they drop
They're
a
fun.
relic on you.
They
Well,
are
this, yeah.
incredibly well optimized. That Switch game, I swear to God, like I wonder if I can do it real quick. It's almost like this guy almost has like an SSD in it. That's how fast it loads. Like
That's a
you're
lie?
literally in game, like I'm not kidding, within seconds. Let me see if I can load it up real quick. But I don't know if this answers the question completely, but
I mean, chat's in here now.
Nintendo knows what they have, and they're not
Yeah.
willing
Oh,
to let
man.
it go for anything.
Chat's blowing up.
Well, then it's like, I mean, it's like, well, that's the thing too. They could have waited the longer they waited to do Super Mario Sunshine or do that Mario 3D thing. I feel like they're like, yeah, 2020, bro. Everybody's upset right now. Boom, it'll blow the hell up if we do it right now. Cause yeah, it's a PR stunt.
Let me see if I can get this to load
But
up for you guys.
that's what Nintendo's good at, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm about to hit A right now. Oh,
Oh,
You got to update. Yeah.
hold the phone. Hold the
Oh,
phone.
dude.
You know what this update is? This update is actually the update for they added GameCube support to the Super Mario Sunshine. So if you have a GameCube controller, you can actually link it up wirelessly to your Switch, and you can play with the GameCube controller.
damn, dude, that's hella fast.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So give it a minute. I just want you guys to see how fast this thing is loading. This is what Nintendo does. They take their IPs, they know what they are, and they're good games. Like every single one of their games that comes out has a really well optimized. It's really crisp in color. They have their own special compression techniques that they use for their games. That's why they look as crisp as they do. You ever wonder why some Nintendo games look like meh, but like you look at Mario games and they're always like top notch?
Yeah.
They have their own developed compression methods for textures.
Yeah.
So they can actually make any game look amazing that is their own
I,
property.
I
Okay.
was watching some
So-
Luigi's Mansion recently, and I was like, yo, I had no idea this game looked that good.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's super
Look,
sick.
this is I just loaded the game up.
Oh, nice.
Look how fast that was.
Yeah.
Dude, he's going for it, yeah. Mario's like, what do you want to play, dude? Remember I used to look like this?
I'm already I think I'm already in, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm already in. How
Oh, yeah, I
how
mean,
fast
it's
was
like
that?
a-
How
Yeah,
fast
that's
was that?
dope.
oh, the classic Mario face screen? Hell yeah, dude.
Like how fast was that? That was so
Yeah, that's
fast, right?
nice.
Yeah.
So
Shit,
do this
load
for
up
that
Warzone on
reason.
my
It's-
Xbox. It's got to restart every time for an update and all that stuff. You got to start it twice. It's like, whatever.
like I said, guys, we're going to talk about this guy probably next week. I really want to talk about the Switch and its success. They actually just hit a recent milestone of it hit a what is it? I think it surpassed the Nintendo Entertainment System for all-time sales.
Yeah, and now it's trying to break the Wii, right?
It's going after the Wii. The Wii is
Yeah.
100 million. It's at 60, 61,
Yeah, that is
62
a
million
weird-
right now.
Wow.
So, and it's people have said this is about halfway through its life cycle.
But yeah,
And we're potentially getting a revision to the actual hardware next year, like a Switch Pro, which will give us, because this is
Oh, they're
technically a
actually gonna do that,
720p
right?
screen. It's not
Yeah.
full HD.
yeah.
We
Well, it's
might
so
get
tiny,
an
it doesn't need
OLED
to
in
be.
here,
It's like a cell
and we
phone.
might get 1080p 60 FPS down here. And then when
Yeah.
we dock it, same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe
Sick.
4K with like DLSS. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time. But hope that answered the question. Thanks for the question. That was great,
Well,
by the
yeah,
way.
I don't know if you got chat open. There's one of the homies
Yeah.
is a Nintendo dude, and it all
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense, bro.
What's up, man?
Yeah, but that's the truth. He goes, it's a decent port, but the exclusivity is what makes it worth the money.
Yeah.
Because they're making people be like, oh, I can't miss out, dude. That's like
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole yeah.
You don't want to
Th-
miss
that's
out.
insane.
Absolutely.
No,
That's what they get you
No
with
one's
every
I've never
time.
heard
Yeah.
of that.
And
Them
and,
being like, you
and
can't get it after this
Nintendo
time.
has always been like that, dude. They've always been like that.
Yeah, like
Don't
everything they
look
do
at-
is a collectible.
If you're looking to collect any games, don't look at the prices for GameCube games right now.
I know, dude. It's
You
freaking
will have a heart
insane.
attack.
It's
You
it's
will.
insane.
I have my little GameCube, tiny disc sleeve somewhere. My little flip out, somewhere, dude. I wonder how much like an original Pikmin is going for.
Oh, dude, Pikmin was so sick. Crazy Taxi was fun too.
Like,
Oh
go on
yeah.
go on to price charting chat and look up these two games. You're gonna cry.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got some hot ones. You got some hot. You got some hot Yu-Gi-Oh cards and shit too.
Oh God, I'm not making the camera focus again.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
not do that.
But yeah. Is there any other questions on chat?
No way. Super Smash goes for 100 plus right now. GameCube.
Oh yeah.
Oh dude, that's insane.
Super Mario Sunshine, same thing.
Like for what? Like a
Wow.
sealed box?
Um,
Yeah, dude.
I
In
think
chat, yo,
so.
what the fuck?
And they have like the player's choice ones, the ones with the yellow bar at the top. They have the
Yeah.
ones that are just like the original. Does have different values too. And
Fire
it's
Emblem
just,
goes for 500 plus right now.
Yeah, it's
Hell
it's
yeah.
crazy because like that's Nintendo. They don't release these games ever again. The only copy, like the only way to play this guy is here on the GameCube. They never re-released it or anything.
Yeah.
So Nintendo looks at this and they go, well, we could re-release this and make profit, or we could just look at that and go, we'll keep that for a rainy day.
The emulators.
One day in 2020,
My
maybe,
God.
when we're drowning for content, oh, we'll just take this game and remaster it, throw it on the Switch. You know,
Yeah,
they
it's
can do
trippy.
that. They have that power.
Oh my God.
But that wouldn't depreciate the value of the original though, right?
Technically it could. Like I think Super Mario Sunshine and I
think it
think
could go either way. I think it could either make it because like it's the real one. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I think it could either make it
Well-
more valuable or less. I wouldn't be surprised either way.
the reason why most of these games, like for example, like Sunshine and like Galaxy, they were only on the Wii and the GameCube. So a lot of people just wanted to play it. That's a value. And the fact that it's the only one and it's the last version of that game, also value. So when you take away one of those values, the price goes down a little bit, but it still retains one or the other value.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
So-
you also need to look at it like, I mean, it might be different in comparison to like, you know, cards and all that stuff, but I mean, look at how much like a Gen 1 holographic Charizard is right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like that's different because, you know, that's
Yeah.
a card that's very specific, right? How many people actually use those cards to play with? Like when
Yeah.
they're playing the actual game, that's now like a collector piece, right? That's
Right.
signifies a time. That's the difference. A lot of these you can pull out. I can pull the disc out of, you know, this guy right here.
Well, that's the
Pull the disc
weird.
out. I could throw it right in my GameCube and play.
Would you
Yeah.
though?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the off chance that something happens to the disc, you would.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think that probably has. If you grew up with it, it probably
Yeah.
has more value than it would if you like. If you snuck, you know, swooped that on an eBay, you'd be like, don't even look at it.
Yeah, this is my original disc. I take really good care of my stuff though. There's like you can't even tell probably. I have like 0 scratches on it. I just take good care of my stuff, you know.
Right.
That's not to say everyone will, but is there a possibility for damage? Absolutely. But you know,
Well, because then that's the thing though. What happens once all like, you know, the Pokemon thing? What happens once all the boxes are opened, or you know, like all the that's
Value
you
goes
know,
down.
They only So like at a certain point, I mean, I think the whole Pokemon thing, for example, like, you know, like how that whole exclusivity thing, like Nintendo putting things out that they're like, you're gonna want to sell this later on or profit off of it or something, or making it a collectible, forcing it down that road. It's like what happens once, you know, as long as there's still a box out there that's not opened, then the value will be maintained, you know? So it's like if there's no more pristine Fire Emblems, like who cares? You know,
Yeah.
or it has to reset like the base value or whatever it is. I don't know. It's just trippy.
Yeah. To me, it's just, you know, Nintendo's setting a precedent going forward by doing this, like, oh, well, it's Mario's 35th anniversary. Here's a bunch of stuff for Mario.
Right.
And they're just releasing stuff until March 31st. Like, that's okay, we're done celebrating Mario now. Like, he can go away. Like, we're done. Like,
That's a crazy
like-
way of putting it. Have they done something like that before? Like you can get it while it's
No.
hot, kind of thing.
not that I
crazy.
remember. I'm sure they probably have. I mean,
Yeah.
eventually
Like you
they
can't
stop
even
printing
get it
things.
digital. You're
you
saying
know?
after, like they're pulling
No.
it.
They're
That's
pulling it off.
crazy.
They're pulling it off. Again, that's a move that shows us that Nintendo knows the value of Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
They know, okay, you have it here for a little bit, buy it while you can, it's going away.
Yeah.
Because guess what happens? The next time it comes back up, you buy it. I have
Yeah.
Mario 64 on the 64. I have it. Why did I buy this?
Yeah.
The exclusivity.
Yeah.
But I
You're like-
mean, for someone like me, the last time that I played Mario 64 was when I had a Nintendo 64. So they're for the people like myself, you know, that, and once again, we talked about this in the video. You know, this now is pushing me to make me try to get a Nintendo Switch before March 31st.
Yeah.
You want this
right?
now. You want this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. That's
And
Nintendo.
then, I mean,
That's
even if I got it
that's the big
digitally, I'd be
answer.
like, oh fuck, you know. What
Right.
if
That
what if my memory card goes to shit or something, or like that? Yeah, I gotta get the real one. Oh shit.
Yeah.
that's why that's the answer to that question is
And they're like,
Nintendo does
yes.
this and you just buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because we buy it. We do it. Why is there no Grand Theft Auto 6? We keep
Yeah.
buying Grand Theft Auto
Oh,
5.
Yeah.
yeah. I
They
get.
have.
Well,
I don't know if you guys saw this, but they pretty much have Grand Theft Auto 6 done.
It's not done.
I've heard so many different things.
Yeah. It's
Because
not done.
I heard from I
If it was
heard
done, we would have seen something by now. We would have seen a title card. We would have seen
well,
a teaser, something.
this is the thing because I have a few friends that like work in the gaming industry and they've done like some oh what's it called, like grid map structure for them,
Oh,
like
okay.
within their new um oh my gosh, what's like Unity and Unreal, like engines.
Oh, new engine. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they're taking like a whole different separate engine and all that stuff, and they did like a grid system and whatnot. They're pretty much done. But
Yeah.
the thing is they don't want to release a trailer of the game and get the hype out there and people blow it out of proportion and then them say like, oh yeah, this isn't going to come out for another 2 or 3 years because there's still a community with Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Because look at what
Oh,
it
yeah.
look at
They
the
don't want to
past
shoot
games.
themselves in the foot.
Exactly. Look at their past games. They don't want to destroy the community for a game that they've continuously come out with content for.
Yeah.
They want to wait until it's almost all dried up
All
and
right,
then
guys.
release it.
So here's what we're doing. So Tyler's just confirmed Grand Theft Auto 6 is on its way. So keep an eye out, start digging, start looking around. Also, Tyler wants you to do hashtag stop buying GTA 5.
Yes. Yeah.
And then Tyler's
Stop
gonna board up
buying the dang game.
and Tyler's gonna board up his house and wait for the Rockstar FBI to come through.
Oh, yeah. I'm probably going to end up getting flagged and all of my stuff is going to be taken down.
Oh man.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, just for all like the rumors and everything, they're already building hype.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what kind of ruined the whole. I mean, didn't Cyberpunk pull their thing? Like they were like, yeah, it's gonna happen. Oh wait, no, it's not. No, it is, but it's not because they're already just saying too much.
Just look
We'll get
at
about
Rob. Look at Rob in the eye and tell him that. See the little glimmer in his eye when you say that to him.
Yeah, it just
Today
feels
we were
bad.
supposed to be playing. We were supposed to be playing Cyberpunk today.
Yeah,
We're I'm not getting into it. I'm not.
Yeah.
because
All
then
right,
if GTA shows up, they're like, hey, it's happening. Then everybody's gonna be like, yes, and then that's it. You know.
All right, Tyler. Tell them where you can find you. Do some outros.
Alrighty, guys.
I'm
So
getting heated off the Cyberpunk
yeah,
now.
pissed, dude.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So you guys can find me on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook at Goaliedude. I think my Instagram is Goaliedude99. My Twitter is Goaliedude9, and then my Facebook is just Goaliedude. I do try to stream 2 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but today I didn't stream because we were doing this. I stream on Facebook and I stream on Twitch. My Twitch name is Goaliedude99. And I also now have a YouTube channel up. So go check me out on YouTube. It is once again Goaliedude99. And there's a Baldur's Gate video on the channel now. So go check that out. It's with Rob and I, and whether or not it's worth the money.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Nice.
Mario, where can they find you?
Well, my whole thing's here, Mariobearz Live, and I guess
Cool.
other than that, Instagram, Mariobearz, MARIOBEARZ. That's usually where I'm hanging out if I'm not on here.
Yeah, he does a lot of cool work. You
I
might
just
see
make
some of that
things.
stuff soon.
Videos,
Yeah.
music, all that stuff. Instagram's usually the first drop for everything though, so
He's working on a
that's
couple
where to
of
find
things
me.
for my channel and for Tyler's
Oh
channel,
yeah,
so keep an
yeah.
eye on that. You might see some cool stuff.
Yeah.
You can obviously find me on YouTube, Retro Rob 64. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Main way to like kind of get some more stuff from me is Twitter. It's Retro Rob 64 there as well. All the links will be in the description for all of us. So if you guys want to take a look, we appreciate it. Thanks for joining us so much. I appreciate it, guys. We really do. Thanks to my friends here, Tyler and Mario.
Ooh,
They're awesome people.
lovely.
But yeah, we're gonna try to do this next week. We're gonna talk about the Switch. We'll go into that some more since it's a very important console to me, and it seems to be an important console to you guys. And we're gonna get Tyler to buy one. What do you guys think? Let us
Live
know.
on stream.
Yeah,
We'll
you
see.
might do it. You might do it. All right,
We're
guys.
gonna
We'll catch
add
you
to
next time.
cart. There we go, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Later.